Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Oh, lovely that you've come along tonight. And I've got to be totally honest, I have a little disappointment for you men. Oh, come and say hi. God, I thought I had big tits to be lost in your mouth. But no, seriously, fellas, I've got to be honest. Tonight I'm here for the benefit of all the ladies. Yeah! Because I think us girls have got to stick together. Am I right, girls? Yeah. I'm sorry, fellas, but this is the 1990s, and there's been a big battle of the sexes going on, and us girls do stick together. And it's very tough for you guys because you now know that you can be replaced. You got it, with 6 inches of plastic and 2 batteries. That's it. What? Oh, what? Oh, she said she can replace him with 3 inches of plastic. Really? Oh, look at his little face. Don't worry, sweetheart. Just think they always say small things are the most expensive. I reckon yours is worth a fortune. But I'm only kidding, guys. We wouldn't really replace men with vibrators, would we, girls? No, come on, be honest, girls. Now, vibrators, they can't do everything. I mean, they can't mow the lawn, can they, fellas? Look at him. I'm not sure about his head, aren't I? Thank God for that. I thought you were sitting upside down for a moment. I was very worried about that. It reminds me a bit of my one at home, actually. Oh, sorry about that. No, actually, you can relax, fellas, because seriously, I don't think you will ever be replaced, because I don't get on with mine very well. I tried it once and broke 3 of my teeth. No, it's all right, girls. I haven't hurt myself. I'll be all right in a minute. I'm going to a nudist party later. I've got the rollers in. One's on top of the other and pulling, If I walk, no one will notice and I'll work it off. It's okay. Anyway, that's it. Hello, good evening. Smile. Cheer up, you never know, you might have got your dates wrong. From our point of view, there's nothing better than seeing happy, smiling faces out there because, there's so many miserable sods in the world, isn't there? I mean, I've got a friend, the type who's permanently depressed. Have you got one of those girls? I saw her last weekend. I said, what's the matter with you now? She said, my old man's just brought me home 2 dozen red roses. You know what that means? I said, what? She said, I suppose I'll have to spend the weekend with my legs in the air. I said, why haven't you got a vase? I've had a sod of a day. You know when it starts badly? You know what I mean? Now, the girls will know. You'll sympathise with this, girls. You know those pads you put in your knickers sometimes? Have you ever stuck one of the buggers the wrong way up? Men, if you think pulling an elastoplast off your arm is painful... you remember when you're dating and you're single? Great memories, wasn't it, guys? I remember this. I was going out with a fella once. He said, Ellie, if I'd have known you were a virgin, I'd have taken more time. I said, if I'd have known you had more time, I'd have taken my tights off. That's murder, innit? Do you know one fella I went out with, he had the cheek to call me a nymphomaniac. I said, how dare you? Get out of my bed and take your 3 mates with you. I love the chat-up lines that you fellas do as well. That's great, isn't it? This fella comes up dead sure of himself, like he's going to get me into bed, and he says, Sir, would you like your eggs in the morning? I said, preferably unfertilised. Do you know the most popular first date is still the cinema, though? It is. And there we are, girls, we go. And we're sitting there in the back row in the dark, innocently eating our butter kiss, don't we? And all of a sudden you feel their hands sneaking up your skirt. And you say, oi, oi, where's your manners? Tits first. eyes are up here. No, he's worried about me in case I fall out my dress. No, it's all right, darling. At my age, when they come out, they hit the floor and come up, so don't... A little beauty secret for you girls, you know, any of you well endowed. Take your bras off. Get rid of them and you look years younger. Pulls all the wrinkles out your face. While we're on the subject, look, snap. Put your head there. We look like a pawnbroker, it's great. Do you know the one thing I was talking about being single? I wouldn't be single nowadays because, you know, you've got to be so careful, haven't you? You've got to practice safe sex. I don't know about you lot, but when I was growing up, safe sex was not letting your parents find out, wasn't it? And you've got to use condoms, ain't you, girls? That's not as easy as it sounds. Because I went out with a fella, he point blank refused to wear one. Yeah. I said, why not? He said, because when I wear one, it reduces the feeling and I don't get any pleasure out of sex. I said, good, then we're even. Put your hands up if you've got any men in here who are impotent. What, you can't get your arms up either? It's funny because all our life we're conditioned, we go out on dates, and us girls particularly, we're looking for our Mr. Wonderful. And we're conditioned to getting married and having kids, and, you know, girls, I looked at my Mr. Wonderful recently and I thought, he's now better known as the skid mark kid, by the way. And I thought, how the bloody hell did he sweep me off my feet, you know? And can I ask, before I go into this, have we got anyone who's, like, engaged or newlywed? You have? Where's that? Oh, there! Wonderful! And that's the lake, what's your name, sweetheart? Hey. Oh, and you newly married?
No, I got engaged Christmas Day.
Oh, congratulations! Nice round of applause. Isn't that wonderful? Wow. How romantic, Faye. And is it all lovely and lovey-dovey and... Should we tell her, girls? Cover your ears. I mean, it is. It's all very romantic and it's like, this is wonderful memories. Yes. The romance goes out the window when he makes you lay in the damp patch, doesn't it? The girls know what I'm talking about, don't you, girls? You know, because, fellas, I'm explaining it from a woman's point of view because, like us girls, we are romantics and we grow up with Mills and Boons and we read all these magazines, don't we, in Cosmopolitan, and we expect this. And, like, particularly the wedding night is meant to be the most romantic night of our life, and we put a lot into this. And the scenario, what happens, Kay? There you are in your bridal suite and you're in the bathroom getting ready and you're putting on the little negligee, dead sexy. You've done your hair, your makeup, Chanel behind the ears. He's waiting for you in the bed. He's all freshly shaven, the aftershave. The silk pyjamas on the top up, no bottoms. That's a surprise when you get out. You walk out, Faye, in your little high-heel pink fluffy slippers. Dead nervous, right? This is the big night of your life. You go to climb in the bed, and you accidentally, to your horror... could die of embarrassment, couldn't you, girls? Because, you see, at this point, you haven't owned up to doing anything like this. We don't do that, do we, girls? No. And you look at his face to see his reaction. And what does he do? He goes, oh, isn't that sweet? Your little body blew me a kiss. Knight in shining, I'm afraid the moment is saved. It's wonderful. You have this romantic night. Give it 1 year of marriage. Same scenario, you are in the bathroom getting ready, girls, aren't you? You put the nightie on, the Winceyette one up to the neck, down to the floor. The rollers are in, the makeup's off, the face cream's on. He's waiting for you in bed. Now, he hasn't shaved for 3 days, he hasn't bathed for 2. No tops on, but the bottoms. You know the old terry cotton ones with the faded pattern that gape at the front and hang down the back? Like he's done something, you know. You walk out of the bathroom, this vision. You walk to the bed in your moccasins. You go to climb in bed and accidentally the same thing happens. And what does he say? That's it, you dirty cow. Stink the bloody room out. What happened? A little botty blew me a kiss? No, I'm kidding. No, this might surprise some of you, but I had a church wedding. I had to because my husband's religious. Well, he thinks he's God. He's converted me to religion. Until I married him, I didn't believe in hell. It's true. But, and I got married in America, in Florida, actually, and I flew my family out there. I thought it'd be different, and my two best friends were my bridesmaids, and I'm really disappointed because I hoped they were going to be here tonight and I could introduce you, but they're not. I know. Well, it's sort of my fault with Anne because she's one of my friends. We've had a little row, and it was my fault. Yes. Well, she's married, you see, and her husband's just had a vasectomy. He's very touchy about it, doesn't like to talk about it. And so for a laugh, I sent him a bottle of sherry, dry sack. Didn't think it was funny, no. And she'll talk to me soon. Anne's a lovely person, you know, but she's very insecure. She tries to please everyone. Do you know the type of girl I mean? I mean, she came in your house and the dog tried to shag a leg. She'd fake an orgasm. So you can imagine, these are the two bridesmaids of mine. And we go out to Florida and we spent our hen night in Disneyland. We thought it'd be different. Let me tell you, we were in Disneyland for exactly 1 hour. Then we were thrown out. In fact, we had been banned for life from any Disney World. Yes, I had never been so embarrassed in my life. Anne was fuming. Christine was peeved. She said, I think the Disney officials totally overreacted. I mean, I was only talking to Pinocchio. I said, Christine, you weren't just talking to Pinocchio, you were sitting on his face saying, lie, Pinocchio, lie. Very embarrassing. The wedding itself was all right, but the reception was quite mind-blowing. It's the first time I've seen his relatives en masse. Blows your mind a bit, Faye. I warn you about this. I mean, like my brother-in-law. At the moment, he's in danger of losing his licence to practice medicine. He got caught having sex with one of his patients. It's a shame, really, because he's one of the best vets in town. And like we were talking about earlier, Faye, my wedding night was a disaster. We had this huge argument, and it was my fault, me and my big mouth. He likes it normally, but... We've checked into our hotel, and we're standing at the reception, and the desk clerk's looked at us, and he's guessed that it's our wedding night, covered in confetti, and he said to me, trying to be helpful, would you like the bridal? I said, no, thanks. I'll hold him by the ears till he gets the hang of it. He didn't think it was funny. So we go up in the room and we had our first big sort of row of our wedding, and he's decided now is the time to sort me out. Okay, he's going to assert himself in our marriage. So he walks over, he takes his trousers off and he throws them at me. I said, what are you doing? He said, put them on. I said, what? He said, put them on. So I did. He said, that is the first and the last time in this marriage you will ever wear the trousers. Right. I walked over, I took my knickers off and I threw them at him. He said, what are you doing? I said, put them on. He said, what? I said, put them on. He said, I'll never get into those. I said, no, and you never bloody will till you change your attitude. This does it. He then strips off, stark naked, like nothing on. How's your memory? You with me? And he stands and he sees this look on my face, like, and he thinks I'm nervous. He says, don't worry, darling, I'll be gentle with you. I said, I wouldn't worry. I mean, how much damage could you do with that? And he strikes his pose like, He said, look at that body, that is 14 stone of dynamite. I said, pity about the 2-inch fuse. He said, 2 inches more, I'd have been a king. I said, 2 inches less, you'd have been a queen. Now, he's getting a bit annoyed. He said, hang on, are you telling me you have seen better? I said, sweetheart, now we're married, I can tell you the truth. I said, just so happens, I went out with a fella once who was very well endowed. In fact, when he went to the bathroom, he had to hold himself with 4 fingers. He said, yeah, well, I'll hold mine with 4 fingers. I said, yes, but you piss over 3 of them. It's like the trouble with my old man and the fellas that I've dated, and some other guys, maybe in here, they tend to exaggerate about their size. Well, let's be blunt, they lie. And that is one of the reasons us women can't park the car. Because men keep telling us that is 9 inches. And let's be honest, you men don't like us women driving, do you? Come on. I know that. Do you know, a friend of mine, he's so hung up because his wife's learning to drive, he actually went to the doctor about it. Seriously, the doctor said, look, it's a fact of life, all women learn to drive. He said, doctor, the problem is, she's obsessed. Even in bed at night in her sleep, she keeps driving. Yeah. Vroom, vroom, accelerating, turning the wheel, indicating. Doctor said, it's a phase she's going through, ignore it. He said, ignore it. How can I ignore it? What do you think she's changing gear with? Into first, up and back for reverse. Look at the state, look at it. Doctor said, I see your problem. He said, now look, it could possibly be sexual frustration. If the wife does this to you again, make love to her. I said, right. There it was, 3 o'clock in the morning. He's in bed, sound asleep. All of a sudden, he hears to his horror. Vroom, 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 vroom. Out comes her hand, she grabs hold of him, puts it in gear. He thought, sod this. I will show her. He gets hold of his wife, turns her over and takes her as hard as he can. She said, 4 gallons, please. Oh, it's a good place to argue the car, isn't it? I always argue with my old man in the car. He's like, always telling me to drive faster. Us women drive slower than you men, and there is a good reason for that. Because we will do anything to stay under 30, won't we, girls? Mind you, we argue anyway. Let me tell you the latest argument. I'm not alone. Everyone else argues, right? Every narration, yeah? Because it's like the latest argument. Judge this for me. He recently called me a dirty cow because I left tea bags in the sink, and he was annoyed because he had to move them so he could piss down there. He sees nothing wrong with that, do you? No. The other major complaint is I don't notice my old man. And let me tell you, just before Christmas, he'd gone out from work and he'd bought himself a new pair of shoes, brand new shoes. He comes home and he stands in front of me. He said, can you see anything different? I said, no, you look the same as you did this morning. He said, right, stay there, don't move. He's got the dead needle. He's gone up in the bedroom. He has taken all his clothes off until he is absolutely stark naked. He comes down. Just got the new shoes on, nothing else. And he stands like this in front of me. He said, well, you cow, look. Now, can you notice anything different about me? Look. I said, no. It's still hanging down as usual. He said, well, of course it is, because it's looking at my new shoes. I said, well, it's a shame he didn't buy a new hat then. Oh, it's fine. You know, see, in the early days, Faye, what you do is, when you have a little argument when you're first married, you make it up in bed, don't you, girls? That changes. We argue in bed now. Yeah. He starts with me, fellas, he's making love to me one night. He said, sorry, love, did I hurt you? I said, no, why? He said, you moved. Then he says things like, we're making love, and he said, I could really go a 69. I said, if you think I'm going out for Chinese at this time of night... But I tried to please him, girls. I mean, when he told me black underwear turned him on, I stopped washing his pants. You know, he blames our problems in bed on me. Yes, I can't believe it. He says that I'm not very exciting in bed. I said, like what? He said, not like these women in the blue videos. He said, they know how to excite a man, turn him on. I said, well, so do I. He said, no. He said, they moan, they groan like they're enjoying it. I said, I could do that. He said, shame you don't. He'd make love to me the next time, and I remembered this. I said, would you like me to start moaning? He said, oh yeah, go and do it now. I said, right, when are you going to paint that ceiling and mow the lawn and put them shelves up? I went to my doctor and I tried to get some advice, and the doctor said to me, well, describe your sex life. I said, infrequently. He said, is that 2 words? The real reason I went, I've been having terrible trouble with my knees. And he's examined me and he couldn't find any reason whatsoever for this. And he said, are you telling me everything? I said, yeah, well, except that every time my husband and I make love, we do it doggy style. He said, well, there you go. That's your problem. You know, there's plenty of other positions to have sex in. I said, not if you want to watch the telly, there ain't. Women, they go, yeah. A lorry driver stopped and he gave a lift to this Irish girl. And she got in the cab of his lorry and she says, what's that thing there? He said, that is a CB radio. And it's marvellous, because with that I could speak to people all over the world. She said, that's wonderful. You know, I'd do anything if I could speak to my mother in Ireland. He said, do you do anything? She said, anything at all. So he opened the top of his trousers, he undid his flies, and he got it out. He said, there, darling, put your mouth to that. She went, hello, mother, can you hear me? Good night, God bless.